Hi, Eddie. James Bean from Hypable.com. Congratulations so much for this win. We actually spoke a couple of months ago about your work with a ballet dancer to work on the degenerative parts of the disease and just sort of work them into a choreography. Could you tell them a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So when I was approaching the film, we knew we weren't going to be able to shoot chronologically, so we were going to have to jump into different stages in Stephen's life and within the same day. And so I didn't want, for Stephen, the illness was of very little interest to him after he was diagnosed. He's someone that lives forward and lives passionately. And so similarly, I didn't want the film to be about a physicality. So I wanted to have the physicality so embedded in me that we could play the human story, the love story. And so I went to ALS clinics in London for about 4 months with a choreographer, a woman called Alex Reynolds. And then she helped to sort of train my muscles to sustain those positions for long periods of time. Thank you.
Going to 128 and then 58.
Eddie, hello. Tim Masters, BBC News. Just over here waving.
Hey, mate.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Eddie. Many congratulations.
Thank you.
Eddie, what are you going to be saying to Stephen Hawking following this win? And are you going to be taking the statuette to show him as well?
I think I will certainly go to Cambridge at some point to see Stephen, Jane, Jonathan, and the Hawking children. They have been so kind to us the whole way through this process. And I'm one of those people, when I watch a film, I believe what I see on screen. And so our responsibility to tell their story truthfully and authentically we felt it. And so their support throughout has been amazing. Any excuse to go back to Cambridge, it's such a beautiful place. So yeah, I will definitely go and show it to them.
We're going to 58 and then 234.
Hi, this is
Hey.
Vivian from German television. Congratulations, first of all. Very well deserved for an outstanding performance. How can you express your feelings when you went up on stage and received the Oscar? And how will you celebrate this amazing day?
God, even hearing you say the word, it sounds so weird. How did I feel? I mean, the fact that it was Cate Blanchett giving it. I mean, I did a film called The Golden Age, Elizabeth the Golden Age, with Kate, and it's one of the first films I did, and I just think she's such an exceptional actor. And so I was recovering from that excitement of seeing her, and then just trying to bury all this frenzy of nerves and white noise and try and speak articulately. And of course, you then forget everything, but it just felt like a euphoria, really, an extraordinary euphoria. Something I will not forget in a hurry.
We're going to 234 and then down to 29.
Eddie, congratulations. Now that you're an Oscar winner, what would you like to say to the actors that you learnt so much from, Alan Fletcher and Jackie Woodburn?
I think they're amazing. They are huge fans of them from old, and I learnt a lot from them, from watching them daily as a kid.
We're going to 29 and then back to 211.
Hey.
Hi, love.
Hi.
You seem to be on a very glorious journey because after this you're making The Danish Girl, and it seems to be that you just raising the bar of the challenge for yourself. Where do you go from here? I mean, you go by directors, you go by projects, or what's the big plan for the next 10 years?
Do you know, I wish I could say that there was a plan. The interesting thing is The Danish Girl, the film I'm shooting at the moment, was a film that Tom Hooper, who I was working with on Les Miserables, he gave me that script then. And so, if I'm being totally honest, I've never really had much choice in work-wise. I've always had to fight for jobs and fought pretty hard for them, certainly for the theory of everything. And so as far as where you go from here, I just retaining employment will keep me very happy. So.
We're going to 211 and then 142.
Hi, I'm over here.
Hey.
Hi. Well, first a Golden Globe, then a SAG Award, now this. You must have been very nervous. Can you talk a little bit about just like the moment leading up to this? What did you do last night? What did you do this morning? And how nervous were you?
Do you know what? I was weirdly not that nervous because 3 years ago I came to the Oscars for the first time and with Les Miserables, and I had to sing live on stage. And just before going on, someone with a headset said, yeah, that's 1 billion people watching. And that's too much stress for your vocal cords to possibly consider. So that was such a terrifying prospect that actually today felt much more relaxing. I didn't have to, you know, you either win or you lose. Either way, I was so thrilled to be invited to the party. That, I mean, what's been lovely is actually staying in a hotel in just down the road, and Tom Sturridge and Sienna Miller, old friends of mine, Emma Stone, and my wife, Hannah, are there. So it's like pals are there. So it's felt very special the past half a day.
142 and...
Hi, Eddie.
And then we'll come down to 53.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, hey, thank you.
You have another trophy that will demand extra attention from the airport security when you leave the country. So my question is, since you started winning these awards, have you had a conversation recently with Stephen Hawking? And do you plan to speak to him about when you come home?
I saw Stephen at the BAFTAs where he presented, and I saw Jane and Jonathan and Stephen and Jane's children there. And it's one of the loveliest things about this process has not only been meeting them, getting to spend time with them whilst prepping and then filming, but also afterwards. And, you know, they are extraordinary people, and just getting to spend time with them is wonderful. So I hope, speak to them soon, and certainly email them tonight.
53, and then we'll go to 25.
Hi Eddie, congratulations. I'm Rita Andrade from SIC Television in Portugal. We've already spoken in England when it was the premiere. You told me one of the biggest challenges of this work was to not filming chronologically. I mean, you were in a stage that was much more advanced, and then you would be back when the character Stephen Hawking was still healthy. So now you have another challenge going on in Danish Girl, and you just won an Oscar. I just want to know how you feel about new projects and about being here in LA, again in Portugal, in Portuguese TV, and winning this prize.
Well, we started filming The Danish Girl 2 weeks ago, and it's an incredibly beautiful and passionate love story, and story about authenticity and bravery. And so I'm really in the middle of that project at the moment, and I was filming on Friday night, got the plane yesterday, and I go back tomorrow, and I arrive on Tuesday morning and go straight onto set. So this feels like a wild, weird dream that I'll sort of wake up in a few days and go, did that happen? Like, pinch myself a lot, but it's amazing. I'm having fun.
We're going to 25, which I'm very sorry I do need to make our last question.
As me over here, Eddie, to RT Ireland. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondly, thank you for making Les Mis, because my dad's watched it every week solidly since it came out on DVD, and he sings along. Is very embarrassed by that. I wanted to ask you about the pressures of playing someone that's still alive, because obviously there's a lot of biopics, and there's obviously huge weight, like the likes of Alan Turing for The Imitation Game. But with this, that person is going to watch that movie. How did you feel with that, and how did that change your approach to it?
I don't know if it changed my approach, but what it did was, there were various things with this job. Like, in preparation, I met people living with ALS. They let me into their lives. They were incredibly kind to me. It was essential to me that I was authentic to what that experience is like. Then it's about the science, getting the science right, you know. And then, of course, the main thing about Stephen, Jane, Jonathan, the kids is being true to them, and then also making an entertaining film. There were basically so many things that, like, terrified me about this film. But, of course, it galvanizes you. It makes you, when the stakes are that high, it does force you to work harder. And so that's what I tried to do. Yeah, no, it's been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Congratulations.